Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actual. So this week we have two videos, right? So this video is especially important and this is a mindset or psychology related video and not a knowledge video. This video is related to degradation of quality among actual students. In fact, uh, yesterday I was talking to one of my friend and I actually went to her home and after because I was out of India and she was telling about her experience and about recruiting people in the actual domain. And she was saying that there are like people are clearing papers with lot of marks, 84, 85, and they are not even able to answer what is reserve or even a slightly deeper concept in reserve. And they have cleared CM1 with more than 80% marks, right? And that is something that I have also observed when I was in corporate and I was taking interviews. And especially in the COVID years, after COVID, there is a sharp degradation in the quality of actual students. And today we are going to understand why it has happened and what you could do to stop that degradation. How you can be different from your peers so that you get everything else, right? You get the job quickly, you get the promotion quickly. Because if two people are at same level, then it does not it is very difficult for someone to pick who will be promoted. But if two people are at same level but at different skill level, then is very easy choice, right? So that is where this video is going to help you. And also, if you're a fresher and watching this video will help you to develop the correct mindset, because what has been propagated in the social media, especially, is not the correct mindset. Now, let's move on without wasting any time. So, this would be a very small video, not a big video. And I hope you will be learning from this video. So, once again, I have a complaint, and that is also related to the mindset. First is when I make video on side topics, kind of like this. Like today, also, I made a video on essay to pass rate. Now, that is a side topic, right? That's a counseling sort of topic, and that is not a knowledge topic. But the moment I make a video on knowledge, say for example, US debt crisis, right? It's a very important topic. The entire world is going to face the heat of US debt crisis, but there are only 75 views. I made a video on last week. I made a video on the yield to maturity, multiple things or there related to the asset side. And I can tell you 99% people who have watched that video, right, before watching the video, they would have not, they would have forgotten that topic. But there are only around 110, 112 videos. But the moment I make a video on side topic, say, for example, what is my salary? What is someone else's salary? What are the study policy that is given? For this topic, whenever it is related to money, everyone is interested, right? So the basic fact about money is the more you run after it, you are not going to get it. So if you leave money as a kind of byproduct, right, and if you develop your skill, money will fall. So the more you concentrate just on getting money, chances are you will leave the ethical side and you move to unethical side and take shortcut to make money. And that's unfortunately is what is happening with most of the actual students, because they are joining the actually, although they say different that I am interested in mathematics. No, they are not actually interested in mathematics. And they join hearing that you can get to 1 crore package, but that 1 crore package road is not easy, right? And as like I keep on mentioning, why as an actuary you should stop at only 1 crore package? 1 crore is too less. You should aim for 1,000 crore or more than that. So a number that the world has not seen, and that you can only do when you have knowledge. Without knowledge, you cannot get to that. Maximum probably you can get to is 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs in today's day, because there are so many actuaries, and it will only get lower and lower with too many actuaries. And yeah, so that's my complaint. Just focus your maybe just give time to the knowledge topic instead of the side topics. Side topics are also important because they are helping you to learn about the actual industry, right? That is why I create those side topics. But if you only concentrate on the side topics and not on the knowledge topic, then you already have an incorrect mindset for actual, and you are already going to stay far far behind people who are concentrating on the knowledge topics. So moving on. Now, as I mentioned, paper will not get you 1 crore or may only get you 1 crore. But there in future we'll see there are people who will be probably earning 100 crore just because they have not only focused on paper, but they have also focused on knowledge. And you have only focused on paper, you are getting stuck at 1 crore. Right. So that's how it is, right? You have to build knowledge. Any person, like there are so many, none of the billionaire in the world is an actual, right? Why? Because they stop at paper. right? So you should not do what the rest of the world is doing. You should do something different. Moving on, and as I mentioned, took effort in the right direction. Paper is obviously important. It's a very, very important part of action, right? I am not denying that. However, it is not the most important part. The most important part is knowledge, because it's a financial certification. You can't learn everything through papers. Because there is softwares involved, there is, and you'll see that in the course of this presentation, there are so many things that are involved. And if you are just kind of concentrated only on paper, that's it. You are, 99%, kind of behind most of the people who are in the right direction. So took effort in the right direction. Paper plus knowledge, paper plus experience. All of these things are required. This plus is very important, right? If you just concentrate on paper, then I, I think you can gauge what that will happen. So now coming to the reason why the quality of actual student is decreasing. First and foremost is the IFI exam. As I mentioned, there is a sharp degradation after the COVID. The reason being the exams has moved into online format, right? And because of that, there is a lot of potential for cheating, right? So many people has cheated. In fact, I know few people. A few of them are my ex-colleague. Some I just recently heard a report that one of my ex-colleague who have cleared SA2 exam this time has passed his exam to four people, and those four people has a written answer for him. Now the problem is if you just clear exam by this way, right? You are taking a shortcut in life, and because of that shortcut, you would be inclined to take further shortcut in life, and your entire mindset and psychology will get destroyed. One day you will just be known for taking shortcut, and you will not be going to the place where, or you will not be reaching the full potential that you were supposed to reach. So stop cheating in exam. You are doing a great, probably uh, misservice to yourself if you are cheating in the exam. You are just taking a shortcut, and you might think that, yeah, I'll just gain knowledge in the job or whatever, right? Let me just finish this exam, and I'll be working hard in the exam. It will not happen, or I'll be working hard in the job. It will not happen like that, because you have taken shortcut once, right? Is your psychology will get impacted. Your mind will show you keep showing you the shortcut, and sooner or later you're going to succumb to the shortcut. So stop cheating in the exam, right? Clear the exam in proper way, in ethical way, because actually one of the responsibility for actuary is, the fiduciary responsibilities, which involve a lot of ethics. If you are not ethical, then what is the purpose of being an actuary? So you have to clear the exam the right way, no matter how many years, how many attempts it take, so that you yourself would be confident that you have cleared the exam with the right way. Otherwise, you yourself would never have the confidence that you have cheated in exam. What is the guarantee that you will be passing that exam? Right? So moving on, lower papers are now easier to pass, and I was, because I'm currently in a coaching center setup, so I was seeing the papers question, how is it different, right? Now one of the section that is different from our time was the probably the coding part, right? Now you have to kind of write in Excel, right, or code in R. So that is a good thing, and that is slightly difficult as well from our part. However, the paper that is set up, these are very easy papers. What I was seeing, and I am away from those concepts for some years, but I am still able to kind of see the papers are quite easy. I can still, for few questions, I can easily calculate the answers. The reason being, once again, is these papers, because of that typing thing, because it is in online mode, they cannot give you difficult question, because if they give you difficult question, you can't be able to, like, it's not possible to finish the exam in time. So they has to kind of tone down the quality of the paper so that you can finish the paper. It's a fair thing. Now that's the problem, right? You should, like, it's a actuarial exam are for checking the or improving the quality of actuaries. It is not a typing exam. So, but you can't help with that, because IFO has taken the route of lowering their expense, right? Although IAI has gone back to the offline mode, and I think for actual exam it should be offline. It should never be online, and because that is the true test of an actuary. You are not typing, because in actuary you do not have to type. That is not a requirement that you require in your job or in your profession. That is, however, the exams are testing you on typing speed, or how you can probably do mathematical typing in Excel or Word. That should not be the criteria to evaluate a candidate. But unfortunately, IFO is not listening, and that's how it is, right? So now the quality of student has degraded because of that, because the papers are simple to crack. Papers are easier as compared to our time. If you just know something of something of the paper, if you do not know the paper in depth, you can still clear the paper. And because of that, there is a sharp degradation, and people are scoring 80 marks. But when they are coming to real work, because there you can't you can't cheat, right? There you can't have lower quality and pass, right? Because there the knowledge expected from you would be same as the knowledge was that was expected from during our time. But you have not worked hard, right? It's easier for you, and there the problem. So it is not something that the actual students are kind of blamed but it is something that IFOA has kind of created for the actual student. As I mentioned, it has become a typing exam rather than the knowledge exam. Another very important thing that is contributing to the degradation after COVID, people got psychologically disturbed because they were staying at home, and most of us are not kind of accustomed to stay in home, and it's a big change for us, right? So we started flaunting, and what better way we could flaunt than in social media? Instagram took over, LinkedIn took over, Facebook took over, Twitter took over, right? Everyone is kind of there, right? And they are showing a life that is not true, and with that come a lot of flaunting, right? So whenever you are clearing papers, you are posting it LinkedIn saying I have worked day and night to clear papers. It's like a motivational post, like someone who is coming from like nothing, nowhere, and is becoming the greatest billionaire the world has ever seen. These are the type of posts that I've seen after burning midnight oil and midnight fire and whatever not. I have cleared the paper. Papers are just normal thing, right? It's not a big achievement of your life, because if that is your biggest achievement, then already you are far behind many people who have better mindset than you, because eventually it's the mindset that make a difference. It's not the knowledge at the end of. If you are not able to understand it right now, maybe 10 years down the line, when you will probably more mature by the life experience. Now once again, age has nothing to do with maturity, but the more experience, the chances are with more time you will get more experience, and you will understand that mindset makes the most difference between two people. Otherwise, two people with same level of knowledge, one person will say that I can't do it, and another person will say, yeah, I try. That person who is willing to try will go far ahead in life as compared to the person who has given up. So the cravings for paper in social media is tremendous, right? And every time a result comes, the LinkedIn would be flooded with such sort of motivational post. I have failed to clear this paper for 5 years. I failed to clear this paper for 6 years. Now I have cleared it. So that does not help, right? You are not adding any value to your life. Some people say that I am celebrating success, and people should celebrate success. If you want to celebrate success, celebrate with your close family and friends. There is no point celebrating with people who do not know. You are only rubbing your success over them. So and just try to think. I am not saying that because I am saying that you should not be doing that. Think from that perspective as well, right? Do not copy and paste others. So there is a tremendous craving for papers. The moment you clear paper, you are going to post it on social media, flaunt it, saying that yeah, I have cleared this paper, right? And because of that, because it can be flaunted, because it is quantifiable. Now, if someone asks what is your knowledge level, you cannot say my knowledge level is A, B, C, D, because there is no such socially acceptable standard. Once again, a social thing. But you can say, yeah, I have 14 papers, I have 15 papers, I have 13 papers, right? That is quantifiable. Even the Parosi wali auntie will also ask you, beta, kitna paper clear ho gaya? So that is quantifiable, and that is why people kind of focuses on this, because for the average people, it is very easy to understand 3, 4, 5, 6, but they would not understand the difference between maybe retrospective reserve and prospective reserve, because they are average. Because and you have chosen actually because you are above average, right? Because you want to be in that you know coveted zone where if people would look up to you, but because you are kind of catering to the needs of the people who are average, justifying that I have cleared 3 papers, 4 papers, and people are saying, "Oh, great, nice, you have cleared this many papers," right? You are going in the wrong direction. You are coming back to the average, but you should be moving away from the average towards the more, the right side. Like in that normal curve, there is a hump in the middle. That hump is for average people. You should be aiming to go in the right side where exceptional people lies, because as an actual profession, there are only maybe 80, 90,000 actuaries over the world, right? And only around maybe 2,000, 3,000. Even if I combine the IFOA people, I don't think there will be more fellow in that, right? So you are already distinguishable in a distinguishable profession, right? And you are still following the social media, so you are once again doing a great disservice to yourself. What you would be flaunting is probably how you have cleared the paper, right? That would probably add value. So suppose you have not cleared a paper for 3 years, what change that you have done to maybe clear the paper? Then, if you are showing that, then that post is lot of value addition for many other people, and that also gives you credibility that these are the things that you are doing incorrectly, right? And now you have changed this, and you have cleared the paper. As for example, I can tell I failed in CT4 for 3 consecutive attempts, and I was clearing other paper at that point of time, but I was failing in CT4, and the reason was the question was out of, like, whatever I have read, the question that was coming in the paper was kind of out of league, and I was kind of flabbergasted, saying, "What is happening here?" Then someone suggested me, "Why don't you try revision note?" Till that point of time, I had no idea that something called revision note exists. Right. Well, the moment someone suggested, I kind of purchased revision note from India, and I saw, yeah, these are the questions that are coming in exam, and this is very good way to prepare. Right. So then I purchased revision note, and after that, every city paper I cleared on one attempt, first attempt. That is because of the revision note. Now I understood that I have to do this because that will increase my probability of passing. Right. And I also shared that with my friends who are not aware of revision note at that point of time. So this. If I, had I posted in social media at that point of time, I was not that active on LinkedIn or other social medias. So had I posted that on LinkedIn, that would have probably helped many other people, right? Saying that I was stuck in City 4 for this many years or this many attempts, 1.5 years have passed, but then I moved into revision mode. That is the sole reason that I kind of passed the paper, right? And also the papers afterwards. So that would add well. But if I just say after spending day and nights and midnight oil and whatever, I pass the paper, doesn't add any value to anyone, right? So you're just making a post, you're flaunting something. Nothing, no value is added. And the great problem with that is you think that is an achievement, while that is not, because paper are just the starting point. You see that in the course of this presentation, papers are just your starting point. Once you are done with 13 papers or 15 papers, once you become a fellow, the real struggle starts from there. That how good you are able to apply those concepts that you have learned in papers and learn more concept, right? So that you can do your job well. Because once again, in a financial certification, you can't learn everything through papers. There will be softwares involved, there will be project management, there will be communication, so many things, right? And you have to, and there will be so many whys that you do not have answer to, and you have to find the answer to. So without that, you would not be a good actually. You will only be a below average actually. And once you focus on papers only, you kind of close your mind to that side. That after papers, I have to learn. So I have to go beyond papers. If you are close to that side, you are never going to become a good actuary. So that's very important. Moving on, and most people think they are behind others if they have not cleared papers. This is something that I have seen in many people, and they think that they are far behind others, especially people who are experienced but they have not cleared papers. Someone got stuck in 7 years, and that can happen. Someone got pregnant, was not able to concentrate on study for 3 4 years. That can happen, especially for females. That can happen, right? So that does not mean that you are better than someone or worse than someone. That just means that you have taken the time of life happens. Something can happen to someone. And once again, social media, people flaunting, I have become actually at 23 years old. I have become actually just in 5 years. It does not matter, right? What happens is with what knowledge level you have become actually up at 23 or 23 years. If your knowledge level is good, then it's great. If your knowledge level is not good, then whether you become actually at 23 or 43 does not matter, because once again you'll be a below average actually. People who have 5 papers would kind of toy with people who have 13 papers if they have knowledge. So it does not matter who, at what age you become actually, how fast you become actually. What you should focus on is becoming the bestest actually, right? Not the fastest actually. And once again, coaching centers, and I recently I saw a LinkedIn post, someone saying that I want to make people actually faster than I did, right? That is one of the dumbest posts I have read in social media. uh, I mean, I can't begin to say what are the things that are coming in mind, because it's really dumb, right? Someone who's extremely immature can make that sort of statement. So you once again, Focus on being the best actually in the world, not on fastest actually, because one who is the best will probably also be the fastest. So focus on that part, right? That you have to solve problems that other cannot. That is what will make you different from others. That is what is going to give you that promotion or make your company better, or will get that extra money. You go from 1 crore to 10 crore because of that, because you have solved a problem that the world has not able to solve till now, right? But if you are just focused on papers, then you are close to that thing and you are saying that I have cleared actually in 23 years. What is the big deal? After that, there is no improvement from your side. So you are actually at 23 years, then you have not done anything. That is just a normal thing. Moving on. And finally, there is a misconception that seniority or salary is related to papers. Now, once again, once you clear papers in companies, you will get a bonus, you will get a salary increment. But that is true. However, you also have to get a rating. Most people do not tell you that. If your rating is below average, you are not going to get the increment or the bonus. That is the first and most important thing. Secondly, you will not be promoted just based off your papers, right? You are not going to get promoted from one level to another level just because you have cleared 4 papers in that year. You need to deliver on projects. I have seen many people who are so focused on papers that they leave the work. They take study leave, sacrificing their work. Whereas it should be the other way around. You can sacrifice your paper, but not your work, because it's in the work that you are learning. That is what will make you a different actually, not the paper, because every paper is just the minimum criteria, is the basic criteria. It's just for us, for an actuary, it is very difficult criteria, because for us the basic is probably, for the rest of the world it is probably a very high criteria, but for us that is a basic criteria. And once again, because the rest of the world appreciate us when we clear the papers, because for them it is a very big criteria, we fall to the best of the world mindset. But what we should do is fall to a different mindset, which is, the what is different from the rest of the world mindset. Right? I hope that is clear. Moving on. Once again, coaching center. One of the main contribution of this, wrong mindset is coaching centers who are telling the student to cram up patterns, and then they are passing the exams based on clearly understanding the patterns, but not on understanding the knowledge. And that's the unfortunate thing. That is where we come in, and we always mix our bookish knowledge with the workx, right? So that, and all my courses that I'm currently selling to Blue Dragon Universe are kind of created like that. It's not cramming of patterns. It's knowledge, practical workx or practical knowledge that is combined with the bookish knowledge, because both are important. Once again, flaunting candidates with their pass mark, but once they are getting interviewed, everything is coming picture. It's not does not mean that every candidate who is scoring higher marks are bad, right? There are few outstanding and exceptional candidates who are probably better than me when I was at their age, and they are also there. But problem is that what we have seen is most of the candidates who are scoring higher marks are not that good with concept, and that is because of the current coaching center pushing them towards the social media flaunting, right? I have, because they are also flaunting their numbers, and they show pictures and saying that these are the people that have passed and they have got these numbers. Once again, uh, passing paper is just the basic job that an actuary need to do. It's not the highest job that an actuary need to do, right? And a couple of days back, I saw a post from someone saying that there is a fellow in coaching center, and that there was no fellow before. So once again, being a fellow just based on papers is just the basic criteria that an actuary is need to fulfill. Once again, that criteria might be very high for the rest of the world, but for an actuary, it's just the basic criteria. If you are satisfied with that, if that is your biggest achievement, then good luck to you with that. But you will only be a below average actually, and that's the hard fact. Moving on. Incorrect. So all of this led to this incorrect mindset, right? And I think you are probably able to understand. So life of an actuary is kind of projected from one paper to another. As soon as you finish one paper, right, you are not even waiting for the result. You are even that impatient. You are not even trying to explore the other areas of life. Maybe travel, maybe work on your fitness, maybe learn something else, some other skill, maybe learn to play a flute or piano, etc. You are not even exploring other things, and you are moving from one paper to another because you are in that, especially in India, the education system is built like that. We are always competing. We're always competing for something. So we believe that if we start early, we are able to, leave someone behind. That is not the correct thing for actually, because no matter, once again, papers are basic requirement for actually. If you clear the paper, then only you become an actuary. That is the basic thing that you have to clear in actuary. But if you believe that that is the highest possible thing, once again, that's an incorrect mindset. What you should do is give some time to yourself, focus on your other weaknesses, focus on your soft skills, how you can develop on those, focus on the planning, what went wrong in the last, where you studying in that the last moment, spending, that 4 a.m., spending 4 a.m., 5 a.m. You should not even, in fact, people flaunt that in social media, saying that I was burning my midnight oil. You should not even be doing that. Your study preparation or planning should be like that, uh, that you would be done with your preparation maybe 2 days before the exam, and just on the exam or before the exam day, you are just revising some concepts, and you are at a very, like, peace of mind, right? So you're in a Zen state. So, but once again, planning something like that with job might be difficult, right? Sometime it is like that is the ideal scenario, probably is not the real or practical scenario, but your life should not be moving from one paper to another. Then once again, you will be focused on paper only, because all the time you are thinking about paper. You should develop your skill on other areas, especially you might learn some coding in that 1 year, right? So focus on that, right? Your life is not one paper to another paper. And once again, even if you are doing that, that is, you are only doing something which is very basic in actual. It is not a coveted thing in actual. Everyone, after some point of time, maybe 5 6 years down the line, I think there will be many more fellow actuals, because of the, the degradation in the quality of paper and everything. There will be many more actuaries. Also, in our time, you cannot appear for CP2 or CA2 in our time, or CA3, until unless you have cleared CT series or CA1. Now those restrictions have been removed. So now you can write CP2, CP3 much earlier as compared to our time, right? So people will become actually faster. Now the papers have been reduced, so people will become actually as much earlier as compared to, our time. So that is obviously there. So after some time, there will be many people who would be actually. The question is whether they would be above average actually or below average actually. And if you only focus on paper, then you know the answer. For 19, as I mentioned, for 99% actually, the biggest achievement would be clearing papers. However, that is as a, above average actually, that should be your lowest achievement, and your life should start from there, and you should move from that portion or that area, that level, to much higher level, right? Probably what the world has not seen yet. And that should be your achievement. Like, this was a problem that was existing, I have solved this problem, right? Your biggest achievement should not be clearing all the papers, because once again, that is the basic. Moving on, and they stop learning after that. That's what happens, right? And but papers are just a starting point. As I mentioned, it does not help in job beyond a point. Only in the first, 1 year or 2 year, when you are a fresher, paper will help you in job. After that, it's not paper, it's the software that you are working in, the coding, the debugging, right? All of those would help you. Moving on, the seniority in jobs require this things. Project management. That is the most important thing. You will be getting multiple projects. Like when I was in Sun Life, I was heading 7 projects. You can imagine how juggling 7 projects would be difficult. And I always had the maximum number of projects as compared to my peers. Why? I was trusted in maximum number of projects because I can juggle, I can multitask. Right. So that is my ability that others do not have. That gave me edge over others who are at my level. So that is the most important thing. As the senior you get in a company, the more projects will come to you, and you have to take responsibility for more projects. Like Spider-Man uncle said, with more power comes great responsibility. People are just not willing to take the responsibility. People just want to enjoy the power, right? But the only those people who take the responsibility will go a notch above, as compared to others who do not, right? Debugging skill. Most of my time would be spent in debugging or understanding why something is not happening the way it is supposed to happen. So that is very, very important. And as an actuary, you will get promoted when you can do the job of your manager, right? So I always promoted those people who made my job easier, because I was looking for that why. Someone else come with almost 80% of the answer of that why. So then that would mean that that person deserves to be get promoted because that person is making my job easier. So debugging, and for debugging, you need to understand how an actual software works, maybe Profit, maybe GGO Axis, or if you are working in the general insurance domain, how SAS works, how SPL works, right? Why it is not giving you the correct result. So without that, you can't debug, right, if you don't understand. That comes with coding, mentoring, and mentoring is also very important because only when you create a replacement for you, you can get promoted, right? So if you do not have a replacement for you, how can you get promoted? So you have to create that replacement for you because people from below level will come to your level so that you can leave that level and you can move to higher level, right? So you are doing yourself a favor by mentoring your people who are below you, and that once again would go a long way because when feedback about you would be taken, it would not be at senior level. It would not be only about what amount of projects you have done, but how many people you have kind of groomed so that they are also able to take independent projects. That is very very important. Most people, I can tell you, in actually especially, they lack in this respect because they are not able to mentor people. So this is very very important. Also project management is very important. You can see papers are nowhere here, right? Papers are not required. Maybe in some debugging skill paper might be required, but otherwise paper is not required. You are working on your experience, right? So paper is not required here. And that's where papers cease to exist, right? You ask any person who has worked for more than a decade in life, life insurance industry as an actuary, they will say, I don't remember the, maybe the concept that I've learned in paper, but I'm very good in my work, if they are actually good in their work. The reason being because they don't need to, right? So that's the important thing. They would remember some of the main important primary concept, but remaining they don't need to. Moving on, correct mindset. Life of an actually start after papers, as I mentioned. Pick a new topic every quarter, right? Or between the gap of your exam, go somewhere, meet new people, try to understand what they are doing. You learn so many things that you are not able to visualize before, right? Learn from new regulation of IRT. IRT keep on publishing new regulation. What is the reason for that? Once you understand that regulation, that will help you in your job. Topics that are not covered in books, read about that. Take a financial statement of maybe one of the core companies, maybe HDFC Life or SBI Life, and see what they have written there, right? Do not just be a book on. See what they have written there and how, whether you are able to make sense of those, what has been written there. If you are not able to make sense, then how can you work in that company, right? So you have to understand what is written there, what do you mean by VNB, what is margin, what is embedded value, right? What is cost of residual non-hedgeable risk. All this would not be written in that detail in your book, but if you understand the financial statement, then you would be able to kind of make an informed decision what company is doing well, what company is not doing well, why consolidation happening in the Indian core sector, whether the new business is declining, whether the renewal is declining, which is more important, right? And probably all these questions that I've asked, many people who is listening to this video would probably have no answer. They would blank if I ask this question in interview. So that's because you have not thought in that direction, right? The moment you started thinking in that direction, all those questions and answers will come to you eventually. Learn new softwares, and eventually we only have, I believe, 2 years to prepare for AI and ML before AI and ML will start impacting actual jobs. So if you are not learning that, once again, you'll only be a paper actuary. So start learning new softwares, especially AI and ML, right? And I would say maybe take a break from your paper, learn AI and ML, because otherwise this is going to eat your job. Break down and simplify difficult concept. In fact, that is the thing that I'm doing right now as well. That's what I started my YouTube channel for, right? So that difficult concept can be broken down and people can understand something. Because before my channel, I don't think there is any channel in the entire YouTube who was kind of creating such content. And I thought that why not create knowledge videos where I can break down difficult concepts. But as I mentioned, the moment I make a side video, there will be a lot of views over that. The moment I made knowledge video, people are just not willing to listen or willing to learn. So that shows that paper mindset, right? I am average actually, or I'm below average actually. I am clearing papers. I don't need to learn. Clearing paper is my biggest achievement of my life as an actuary, and I'll flaunt that over social media. Once again, you are in the incorrect mindset, right? Now I can tell you all of this. It's up to you to understand or to kind of, and I may be incorrect, right? I always give myself the chance or opportunity to be incorrect. I may be incorrect, but you have to think from that direction and then dismiss what I've said, right? You have to think logically, saying that this person is saying this. Is this making sense? If this is not making sense, then fine, right? Then you can continue with the whatever approach you think, because whatever you will decide for yourself would be the best approach ultimately for yourself. However, you have to give the other thought process a chance. Moving to the last part, once you have the correct mindset, as I mentioned, I always give myself opportunity to be wrong. You give yourself the opportunity to be wrong. You can question yourself, and that is where the probably the best is separated from the good or better. The person who is best question himself or herself to understand why he is only stuck in good or better level, why is not the best, right? And that's what you have to do. Why something is happening, why you are not at that level, why you are not clearing a set. All of those whys would be answered, right? So if you can do that, I think you will already be ahead of 99.99%. So I think you are able to understand this counseling video. I probably end up speaking a lot more than I intended to, but I hope that is important. And this video will help many freshers probably to go in the right direction. Before I started, there was coined that term called paper actuary, which I can take full credit for. Right? I uh, I think there are many people who are just focused on the paper actuary mindset. Right now, also majority would be focused in paper actuary mindset, but I think these days I get messages, and it's very hurtful to see that out of 10 people, maybe three are wanting to become proper knowledge actually. So I think that is a credit that belongs to me, uh, and yeah, I'm very happy for that. So I hope that like that this video will also make a difference in your mindset, because as I mentioned, what makes a difference between maybe a good or better and a best guy would be the mindset, right? Otherwise, beyond a point, talent, knowledge, all of this would not matter. It's the mindset that matters, right? The people with correct mindset will acquire the knowledge to deliver, and the people with not proper mindset will never acquire the knowledge, and hence they can't deliver, right? So it's the mindset that is most important in life, and yeah, there are so many examples. So I hope you have liked this video. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button, share this with a friend, and see you in future videos. And this week, there is 21st August that is coming. For that, we will be releasing a FAQ video, right? And happy Actuaries to everyone in advance. Thanks, and see you in future videos.